Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy again, Chris, with some more Chris Wrestling Views. Today, I'll be doing something totally different, and it's gonna be on AEW. It's my first time doing something about AEW professional wrestling today. So so the show opens up with Pac versus Eddie Kingston. So basically, in this match, Pac, Pac he had upper hand in this match. Alongside ringside, they had, Pac had Death Triangle, um, and Kingston had Butcher and the Blade, along with Penelope as well. I believe that was her. Um, so they exchange blows, bam, bam, bam. Pac wins with the Black Arrow, and he picked up the victory. After then, he was still a little upset, so he locked in the submission on Eddie Kingston. And then Archer comes down to run Butcher and the Blade off, and then it was a stare down between Pac and Lance Archer. So with that, I don't know what's going on with Lance Archer. I don't know, like, if he just don't like Pac or what. Are they gonna question is, will they have a match next week? Surprisingly, I don't know. I wonder if they will or not. So we will definitely see on next Wednesday of AEW Dynamite. So let's move on to the next part. Uh, Chuck Taylor versus Miro. Chuck Taylor had Orange Cassidy at ringside with him. Miro had Penelope and Kip Sabian as well. During that match, uh, excuse me, guys. Chuck Taylor had the upper hand in most of the match. Kip kneed Cassidy, and then Taylor mule kick Kip Saban. But Miro picked up that win over Chuck Taylor by hitting Chuck Taylor with the camel clutch for the tap out, and then they end up taking Chuck Taylor with them and saying that Chuck Taylor will be with them next week on AEW as their servant, I believe. But we will definitely see what will happen next week on AEW with that. It's a good thing, that Miro is in now in a company to where, he's recognized, and he's um he's doing a whole lot right now than he was when he was in a different promotion. Um, so we had a backstage segment, and it was with Matt Hardy and the Private Party. They were just basically talking about how the Private Party joined the Matt Hardy brand, and Matt Hardy said, "Well, I get 30% of you guys' money, and you all gonna be you millionaires and all that good stuff." So they got a match set for next week, and I'll get on those matches at the end here. Then we had another segment where the inner circle comes out, Chris Jericho, uh, MJF, and the rest of the guys. So inner circle comes out to talk about plans for 2021. What are their resolutions for 2021? And MJF yells out championships, and so some of them liked the idea. Jericho announced that there will be a triple threat tag team match of who will be the official team of the inner circle. So the match next week is going to be Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager. Then they're going to have Santana and Ortiz. Then they're gonna have Chris Jericho and MJF. So one of those three teams will be an official tag team permanently in Inner Circle. And so after then, Kenny Omega with Don Callis. They come. He comes out. Um, Don Callis said, "Let me introduce to you, Kenny Omega's best friends." And then Don Callis said, "The Good Brothers." And I was like, "Whoa!" So it's supposed to have been the Young Bucks supposed to came out and teamed up with Kenny Omega, but that didn't happen. So so it was um so it was Kenny Omega and it was Kenny Omega and Gallows with and Carl Anderson. They fought some little jobber guys. They weren't really nobody, but after that match was over with, Moxley comes out to confront Kenny Omega. About they had like them a championship match. Weeks ago, and Kenny Omega end up popping up on Impact Wrestling, and all that good stuff happened, and a brawl starts to break out. The Lucha Brothers super kick the tag team champions, um, the Young Bucks, and then Don Callis and Kenny Omega goes to run off and leave them behind. And so after then, what happened next, you guys, is Omega and like I said, we seen Omega and Callis start running. Cody Rhodes' interview, about him is a him being a is about to be a father now. Jake Cargill comes up and asks who's her next opponent, demanding Cody Rhodes, because we all know that Cody Rhodes is part owner of AEW. Um, but Red Velvet got into Jade Cargill's face, and a fight broke out. Then Thunder Rosa um, said that she's going to have her match um, with Britt Baker at this pay per view that's called. Forgot what that pay per view called. Give me a second, you guys. Here, that pay per view was called oh, Beach Break, and it should be around be on September the 12th. So we were definitely gonna see what this match is definitely going to be about. I haven't followed that storyline, you guys, with those two wrestlers. Then we had FTR versus Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. So basically FTR, they end up winning with the big rig, and that match was short. Then we got Tay Conti. Well, yeah, I call it Tay Conti versus Serena Deebs. Serena Deebs retains the NWA Women's Championship. Um, so after then, we had the main event, the final match of the night, and that match was Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. You guys. Um, so basically Darby ties up Brian Cage's legs together, and then he does the coffin drop off the ropes onto the steel steps on top of Brian Cage. Ricky Starks comes out to the ring ropes, try to distract Darby Allin, but lights goes out, comes back on. There's Sting. Sting, starts um, hitting Ricky Starks with the bat, and then as Darby Allin and Brian Cage were on the top rope, Darby Allin hits a crucifix pin off the top rope with Brian Cage up there with him as he go for the pinfall. Brian, excuse me, not Brian. Uh, Darby Allin ends up picking the victory, picking up the victory and retaining his TNT. Championship. So you guys, that's all for the AEW guys. Um, they had some matches announced for next week, you guys. I'm trying to find them. Give me a second, you guys, if y'all don't mind waiting. Let me see. I had those matches up here. Where is it? Oh man, I cannot find it, you guys. So we all know that they're gonna have Hager and MJF, or not Hager and MJF, excuse me, Sammy Guevara and Sammy Guevara and Hager versus Santana and Ortiz versus Chris Jericho and MJF. Then we got Hangman Page and the Dark Order versus Chaos Project and TH2, of course. And then we have Matt Hardy in the Private Party versus someone, you guys. I'll update this as well. But thank you all for tuning in to Chris Wrestling Views. If you did watch, listen to my whole video here, I really do appreciate you guys. It's about time to go to bed right now, you guys. Sorry, I'm kind of being a little bit sluggish or whatever, but continue to support my channel. My next video should be on just basically wrestling views. So keep an eye out on that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all notifications sent directly to whatever device you're using, whether it's iPhone, Android, or your computer. Just make sure, since you guys would just listen to my videos, I know y'all won't stare like at my background, but soon enough you'll be able to see me once again. I'm just waiting for more equipment to come so y'all can see a nice background with me talking on there and not just me talking through my mic like I am now. Also, make sure you guys share my videos with everyone. And I know somebody asked me a question of how do you share a video. Just basically copy the link of the video and paste it to whoever you want to send it to. Next, I wanted to tell you guys to make sure you follow me on Twitter at ChrisWV9, and also make sure you join my wrestling group on Facebook, Chris Wrestling Group. If you want to join, I'll make sure that I will accept you into the group. And last but not least, make sure you follow me on Instagram, you guys. And if you want to be a part of Chris Wrestling Views, make sure you hit me up on one of those three platforms or send me a message. Let me know. I'll be glad to definitely hear from you guys. Thank you all for tuning in to Chris Wrestling Views. Thank you for listening to what I had to say today about AEW. I know it's a little bit different, you guys, because I'm normally doing stuff about WWE. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Chris Wrestling Views here on YouTube.com.